Hello everyone, my name is John. Welcome back to the channel. Now today we have a jaw-dropping story. Now did you know that your body can't tell the difference between a chemical that's used in your Mountain Dew and the same chemical used to fireproof your furniture? Brominated vegetable oil, or BVO, contains bromide, and it's the same chemical used in fire retardants. When you drink it, your body absorbs it and stores it in your cells, in your fat tissue, in your organs, in your brain. Now, the European Union banned this chemical in 2008. Japan banned it, India banned it, and dozens of other countries said it is not safe. You are not giving this chemical to our citizens in a beverage. But in America, the FDA kept it legal for 54 years under something that's called an interim review, a regulatory loophole that was supposed to last for only 3 years, while these beverage companies proved that this chemical was safe. They never proved it, and the FDA never required them to prove it. Meanwhile, we have unaware been drinking this chemical for 54 years. This is an eye-opening story, and you don't want to miss it. Brominated vegetable oil has been in American soft drinks since 1971 with interim safety approval from the FDA. 50 years later, it's still interim, still under review, still in your soda, and still linked to organ damage in medical research. Meanwhile, this same chemical has been banned in dozens of other countries. The documents revealing why it remains legal in America expose a regulatory system that prioritizes industry convenience over public health. What I'm about to show you demonstrates how the FDA's temporary approval system allows potentially dangerous chemicals to remain in food products for decades without proper safety evaluation. This case reveals a regulatory loophole that food companies exploit to keep profitable ingredients in products long after safety concerns emerge. Brominated vegetable oil, or BVO, is a synthetic chemical created by adding bromine atoms to vegetable oil. It serves one specific function in beverages, preventing citrus flavoring oils from floating to the surface, creating uniform flavor distribution in drinks like Mountain Dew, Gatorade, and Powerade. The chemical was first used in soft drinks in 1958 under the FDA's generally recognized as safe provisions. However, by 1970, emerging research suggested potential health risks, prompting the FDA to remove BVO from the GRAS list and require food companies to petition for specific approval. Instead of conducting comprehensive safety studies, the FDA granted interim food additive status in 1971, allowing continued use while the agency supposedly conducted further review. This interim approval has now lasted over 50 years. While the FDA maintained interim approval, other regulatory agencies reached different conclusions about BVO's safety. The European Union banned BVO in 2008 after determining that bromine accumulation in body tissues posed unacceptable health risks. Canada removed BVO from approved food additives in 1995, citing concerns about organ toxicity. By 2020, dozens of countries had banned or restricted BVO in food products, according to the International Food Information Council database. The United States remains one of the few developed nations still permitting its use. Case reports published in medical journals document bromism, bromine poisoning from excessive BVO consumption. Symptoms include fatigue, memory loss, skin lesions, and coordination problems, according to case studies in the Journal of Clinical Toxicology. Despite mounting evidence and international bans, the FDA has repeatedly delayed completing its BVO safety review. Internal agency documents obtained through Freedom of Information Act requests show that comprehensive toxicity studies have been planned since 1985 but never completed. The agency's stated reason for delay has evolved over decades: insufficient funding, competing priorities, industry data requirements, and most recently, the need for additional research. Meanwhile, millions of Americans continue consuming BVO daily without knowing its potential risks. FDA correspondence with soft drink manufacturers available in regulatory filing databases shows the agency consistently accepting industry requests for deadline extensions rather than requiring immediate safety data or removing interim approval. Major beverage companies have actively lobbied to maintain BVO approval while avoiding comprehensive safety testing. The American Beverage Association spent about $1.5 million on lobbying activities in 2024. Internal industry communications obtained through litigation discovery show companies discussing strategies to manage FDA concerns about BVO without conducting expensive long-term toxicity studies that might reveal problems requiring product reformulation. Now, in 2013, a 15-year-old high school student from Mississippi petitioned Gatorade asking them to remove BVO from their beverage. Her name is Sarah Kavanaugh, and she's not an activist, she's not a scientist, she's just a kid who researched what she was drinking, found out that it wasn't safe, and asked them to remove it. What an amazing kid. Well, her petition gathered over 200,000 signatures. PepsiCo's response is revealing. They announced that they would remove BVO from Gatorade. However, the decision had nothing to do with the petition. They claimed that they had been working on reformulation for over a year. Meanwhile, BVO was perfectly safe. Well, why were you reformulating it? BVO-free Gatorade was being sold in Europe, Japan, and dozens of other countries. So the solution is not hidden. It's hiding right in plain sight. Wouldn't you think that PepsiCo know how to make Gatorade free of BVO? Since it's no secret, they've been doing it internationally for decades. But because they weren't forced to do so by the FDA, they kept on selling it. Now here's the irony. So they saying they've been reformulating it for over a year, but just a few months after the petition that gained 200,000 signatures, they suddenly found the formula that would taste good after removing BVO. Good job, Sarah. BVO's continued approval reveals fundamental problems with FDA's interim food additive system. Once granted interim status, chemicals can remain in food products indefinitely while companies delay providing safety data and agencies postpone completing reviews. This creates perverse incentives where companies benefit from regulatory inaction, maintaining profitable ingredients without proving safety while consumers bear unknown health risks from continued exposure. In 2024, the FDA finally announced it would revoke BVO's food additive authorization, giving companies until August 2025 to reformulate products. However, this decision came only after California passed legislation banning BVO and other food additives, forcing federal action. The 50-year delay in addressing BVO demonstrates how regulatory systems can fail to protect public health when agencies prioritize industry accommodation over precautionary safety measures. Even with the announced ban, implementation has been delayed, and some companies continue using BVO while challenging the FDA's decision through administrative and legal processes. For 5 decades, American consumers unknowingly served as test subjects for a chemical experiment. While other countries protected their populations from potential BVO risks, Americans continued consuming products containing this questionable ingredient. The health effects of 50 years of population-wide BVO exposure remain unknown because the long-term studies were never completed. This represents a massive public health experiment conducted without informed consent or proper safety oversight. Food technology has provided safe alternatives to BVO for decades. Natural emulsifiers, modified starches, and other stabilizing agents can achieve the same flavor distribution effects without bromide's potential health risks. Companies operating in international markets already use these alternatives, proving that BVO isn't necessary for product quality or consumer satisfaction. The continued use in American products reflects regulatory permission rather than technical necessity. Understanding BVO's regulatory status helps consumers make informed decisions about beverage choices. Products containing BVO must list it on ingredient labels, typically in citrus-flavored soft drinks and sports beverages. Choosing beverages without artificial additives eliminates BVO exposure entirely. Water, naturally flavored drinks, and homemade beverages provide hydration without the chemical additives that regulatory agencies have failed to properly evaluate. Reading ingredient labels and avoiding products with long lists of chemical additives provides protection from regulatory failures, like the BVO case. Brominated vegetable oil has been under review by the FDA for 50 years while being banned in dozens of other countries. This isn't scientific caution, its regulatory failure that prioritized industry convenience over public health protection. The BVO case reveals how the FDA's interim approval system allows potentially dangerous chemicals to remain in food products indefinitely while agencies delay completing safety reviews. Americans became unwilling test subjects in a chemical experiment that other countries refused to permit. When regulatory agencies take 50 years to evaluate a chemical's safety while other countries ban it immediately, those agencies have failed in their fundamental mission to protect public health. Your food choices shouldn't depend on regulatory systems that consistently prioritize industry interests over consumer safety. If this investigation into regulatory delays was informative, consider sharing it with others who consume beverages containing BVO. Understanding how the FDA's approval systems actually function helps everyone make more informed decisions about food additives. So I hope you got value out of this video. If so, like the video and subscribe to my channel. It just helps us to continue to produce this type of content and bring these stories to light. This is a story that I look beyond just what Sarah Kavanaugh did. At the lives she may have saved by doing so. Because this is a chemical that has proven over decades to not be healthy in the human body. Once it's consumed, the damage that it does. So we don't know how many lives she could have potentially saved by doing this. So this is very important, and it's my passion to get these type of stories out to the masses. So if you don't mind, like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video.